so many good questions on diaphragm breathing. I screenshotted all of them, and I'm going to look through it again and find some of the most common. I said I would send it out in an email on Friday, so I'll probably break it up into more than one email sequence because there were so many. So here's the link if you're not on the list. I just feel like it provides an easier platform to deep dive into some things, and then you can read it when you want to versus like stories that expire in 24 hours, and not everybody wants to hear me blabber on. Sometimes it's easier to kind of just read a response. So there's that, and it also has my wheels spinning on some other ways that I could continue to help you guys really understand and grasp that concept of the breathing and all the different questions that you have brought up that are so important to understand, but it's just always hard to cover in one Instagram post or in the stories and all of that. Okay, also, my warm weather friends, remember I said I would hit you up when I got tired of the winter? I'm done. It always happens like this. The end of February, I'm like tired of it, and March is usually horrible. So like we've had tons of ice last week that still hasn't melted, so it's like super treacherous everywhere you go, and it keeps melting and then refreezing, and then it's that black ice everywhere. Now it's pouring rain here, but then it's freezing, so like the trees have like ice all over them, and probably the power lines, and we'll probably lose power, and it's just disgusting. It's like you can't get outside in this. Like snow you can get out and enjoy, but ice, no good. Oh, I just got a really great question. Actually, I've gotten this a lot. What do I think about the vacuums? So the preliminary research I've done has shown that it's comparable to pelvic floor retraining. Like they're both positively impacting the pelvic floor. There's a couple that show that it doesn't work as well. So I think overall, like they're probably okay, like that they probably do help and work. I find it incredibly complicated. Like I find people have such a hard time grasping just the regular way to breathe and contract that it's overly complex, number one. So I don't think it's easy to teach to people. But I also don't like that it doesn't transfer over into other activities. Like you're not going to vacuum and lift up your kid, a stomach vacuum and lift up your kid, right? I think it can be a tool in your toolbox, but I always like to remind you that improving your pelvic floor means looking at the entire body and how it integrates as a whole or works together as a whole. And we know that hip and glute strength or weakness really impact the pelvic floor and its ability to work. So correcting that is important, in which the vacuum wouldn't get you there for that, nor would it help you integrate well, I guess it tries to integrate total body movements. So it always has like all those arm movements and stuff. I don't know. I haven't looked into it that much because I got lost on like part one. But anyways, for me, I'm like, well, how is that gonna help you get back to tennis and running and jumping and CrossFitting or whatever it is, when if pelvic floor PT is comparable to it, I would just start with that and I would keep layering on all of this stuff. That's kind of how I've looked at it.
Bye.